How are you feeling?
I'm actually really excited. It's one of those moments where, like, you will look back at any career and be really proud. And I actually had my family come over today, which I did not realise until I walked in today. So that was pretty exciting to see. And I don't know. I think just to get voted by your peers who you play against, it's probably not a more, I don't know, in terms of respect and sort of pride. That's sort of award you sort of love. I don't know, to get awarded, I suppose.
To get around and thank some of the boys, because as you say, it seems to be the one every year that is the most special, because obviously all Australians got the panel, Brownlow's the umps, but every player that seems to win this sort of has that extra glint in their eye. It means a lot.
Yeah, I think like he obviously got the Brownlow and the Coaches Award and this award, and they're probably the three big awards. And I think just you love playing against the best players, and when you compete against guys and they actually vote for you, for they think, I suppose, for the top gong, it's it's pretty awesome, to be honest. And 6 years ago, I wouldn't think I'd be in this position. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
You mentioned the Brownlow there. 13 players have won this award and gone on to win the Brownlow Medal. What do you make of that stat and your chances?
Jeez, I think I might be battling a bit this year. No, there's a lot of good players. It's one of those awards, I reckon 6 or 7 guys could have won it this year. There's been a lot of good players. Obviously, Neil, Bonapelli, Fife, Dangerfield, Tim Kelly, and there's a lot of other good players that have played really good years. So it should be a fun night, and whoever wins it will be very deserving.
You mentioned just then that you couldn't have imagined being here 6 years ago. Have you exceeded your own expectations, or is this the sort of form that we've seen this year that you always knew you were capable of?
I think 6 years ago I wouldn't have thought I'd be in this position, but as you go through year by year and you get more confidence, you try and set the bar really high, and you try and get the best out of yourself. And whether that means getting awards like this, I'm not sure you reach expectation. But at the end of the day, it's about team success, and you want to play the best footy to help the team win. And yeah, it is an honour to get this award, but it's not something you set out to achieve at the start of the year, if that makes sense.
Have you had a text from Diesel yet?
No, I ran into him today this morning at the club, and he wished me all the best, but I'm sure we'll have a few laughs about it in the next couple of days.
This year, obviously, captaincy, co-captaincy, but you really went it alone after Sam Doherty went down, and such a roller coaster year. How do you think that impacted your year as a whole, taking on that captaincy?
Yeah, I enjoy being, I suppose, the captaincy with Doc, and it's not because of the title. It's just you want to get the best out of the group, and the group thinks you're the best guys to really get the best out of them. But in terms of leadership, on field, I took the responsibility, but when you're on field, you just play on instinct. Off field, me and Doc still work very closely, and I think that's about 90% of leadership. So I love working with him, and I felt like we did a really good job together to try and really, I suppose, keep the club galvanised. And I think now you can see by the amount of boys that are out there now, the group's really close, and we're really excited going into next year.
Sammy Walsh obviously ticked off one award tonight, and he looks like he's a good chance of doing that again at the Rising Star tomorrow. Just a little thought on him.
Yeah, no, I knew that's one award we definitely knew we're getting right tonight is Sammy Walsh, and I think tomorrow he might be paying $1 to win it. But I used to see the way he handles himself up there as an 18-year-old. He's super impressive. That translates to the way he trains. But the best thing about him, he's just a good bloke. He has a bit of fun and doesn't take himself too seriously. So I think this will be one of many awards Big Walsh is going to win in the future.
Talked to a lot of people, and I think even Diesel has said that you're capable of even more, which is probably a bit scary for opposition players. But where do you think is the area that you can improve, particularly for next season?
Yeah, I think you pride yourself on, I suppose, adding strings to your bow every off season, and you want to get better. And I'm still only 24, so I feel like I've got a lot of good footy left in me. I think. I don't really know. I think as the team gets better, I think we're going to, in terms of we play together, and the cohesion's really going to help. I think I'll keep getting fitter, and I might try and drop a bit of weight in the off season. But I really want to hit the scoreboard a bit more. I think the really, I suppose, elite midfielders hit around 20 goals a year, and Dangerfield usually hits 20 a lot. And I think that's a sign of a really good team. So that's something I'll try and do. But yeah, it's probably the last thing I'm thinking of at the moment, to be honest.
Who's the short price favourite to be the ringleader in Mykonos then?
Oh, that's a good question. Lockie Plowman, sure. Yeah, he's a good man. He likes to organise all that stuff, and he does a good job of it. So it should be fun.
Who got your vote tonight? Who do you really admire on the field?
To be honest, there's a lot that you could. I really rated Bonapelli's year. He was in my draft, and I think he's a guy that can really damage you at 25. Lockie Neal was someone. Thought the way he started the year and he finished the year and taken Brisbane from where they were up until, I think, second spot. And then I think the last one was actually Luke Shuey. I really rate the way he plays, and obviously Eagles are one of the best sides I've faced. But when you try and put 10 players into 3 votes, it's pretty hard, and yeah, it can be a really tough choice.
Great.
Yeah, all good.
Thank you, Patrick.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers. All good. Thanks, guys.
Best of luck for Jordan.
Cheers.
You'll love it.